This bill is just wrong, and it's mean. And today, I'm going to veto it.
In Louisville on Tuesday, Governor Beshear vetoed House Bill 18. It would allow landlords to refuse to rent to tenants who pay with public housing assistance, such as Section 8 vouchers. It also stops cities like Louisville from enforcing bans on housing and source of income discrimination. The bill, passed in the General Assembly last month, now heads back to Kentucky lawmakers.
And my hope is that the lawmakers will look inside their heart, realize that there are those that are less fortunate and that they deserve a roof over their heads too.
In response to the veto, supporter of the legislation and Speaker of the Kentucky House, David Osborne, said in a statement that the governor strikes out at the right of a property owner to make a decision about how his or her property will be used. The very idea of forcing a property owner to participate in a program runs contrary to one of the most basic and fundamental rights. Members will consider an override, as they have with almost every other policy vetoed by the governor. Governor Beshear says he doesn't have definite next steps, such as taking legal action if lawmakers override his veto. He insinuates he's putting the ball in their court to come to a common ground.
If there is another purpose that they're trying to seek, talk to us about it. Let's find a different way to do something that they might want to do, but not harm people in the process.
Housing advocates say, in addition to harming low-income families and senior citizens, the bill could also create a barrier in their efforts to address Louisville's rising houseless population, and in a city that lacks more than 30,000 affordable homes.
Anytime we have a policy that comes before us that limits our options, that is going to lengthen the stay of homelessness, that is something that we're going to advocate against.
In Louisville, Alexis Matthews, WLKY News.